Welcome to the Thought for Today with Monica Kincaid. I was recently thinking about why do we think that we can do various things ourselves. If I'm honest, I ask God, why? Why am I stressing about this? What makes us think that we can solve our own problems, fix other people, or situations? Today, I want to remind us of this thought: God is our helper. You know, as I'm recording this video, it's actually raining outside. So this makes this thought perfect because God knows how to help us, doesn't He? He knows when to send the rain, and He knows when to send the sunshine. This just reminds me that God is our helper. You know, one of the reasons why I love reading the book of Psalms is that David went through some difficult trials and tribulations. You know, one chapter will reveal David is worshiping God. Then you could read a different chapter where he's suffering and he's in deep sorrow. Perhaps David is at war and asks God to deal with or destroy his adversaries in a different psalm. Because David had history with God, he knew that God was his only help. David is at war when we open to the 60th chapter of Psalm. As David prayed to God to intervene, he realized that only God could restore him and Israel. He asked several questions in verses 9 and 10. Who will bring me into the fortified city? Who will bring me victory over Edom? Have you rejected us, O God? Will you no longer march with our armies? David asked these questions to God and not to other people. So why is it that our first line of defense many times is to vent on social media, is to talk to other family members about the problem, or even to go to our friends for their advice? Now, listen, there's nothing wrong with seeking godly counsel. However, our first move should always be to ask our Heavenly Father, because God is our helper. If we look at verse 11 in the same chapter, I think it is the goal of the entire psalm. David says, "Oh, please help us against our enemies, for all human help is useless." My goodness. Y'all, David realized that his strength and the power of Israel was useless without God. David, as you can see, he needed God to intervene. When will we ever understand that without God's assistance, all our efforts and our strength are futile and powerless? If we're honest, there are some situations that each of us may find ourselves in, and only God Himself can rescue us. You know, maybe even you were previously in some mess and only God rescued you. Listen, none of us are Superman. We're not superhuman. We must allow God to help us. So remember, at the end of every trial, every tribulation, every problem, and every battle, it is Jesus and Him alone that can bring us deliverance and true victory. I hope and pray that this thought has been an encouragement and a blessing to you, that it is a reminder that you will allow God to help you, because we need His help, y'all. May God's blessings overflow you. Until next time.